Hello. Welcome back, my pack, my tribe. Sorry about that. I have to pay my Spreaker bill because now I can only post in 15-minute increments, evidently, right now. So I was just going off there, and evidently you missed a whole bunch of shit. So I'm going to have to go over it again. I'm hoping you heard the part about fucking how we failed this new generation, this upcoming generation. But just in case you missed it, just to reiterate it really fucking quick, it's our fault. In the sense that we're kind of the ones that started it. And what I mean by us is my generation, Generation X, that grew up in the 80s. We were the ones that started this whole, well, don't spank your kids thing. And somehow that spawned into, well, everybody's winner deserves a trophy, and therefore there's no competition and no strive for success and no sense of consequences. And so now we're raising a whole generation that is ill-equipped to deal with the bullshit that's coming our way. And then I went into COVID, honestly, and how in this country, and it seems to be like it's only here in the United States, we're dealing with this bullshit with a minimum of two more years. And part of that is because they've released vaccine part 1, but they're holding back on vaccine part 2 because it's a 2-part deal. You get one, and then like 2 weeks or a month or whatever it is later, you get the second part. And then you're done. Right? And I'm not going to get into the whole vaccine versus no vaccine debate. I think that's personal choice. I do see both sides of it. On the one hand, I'm a big believer in natural immunities versus vaccine. Okay? That's my only objection to vaccines, by the way. I think if it's something you can develop a natural immunity to, or natural antibodies to, that is going to be stronger than what's supplied by a vaccine initially. Okay? Now that's not to say that you shouldn't get the vaccine. Okay? I don't want anybody twisting my words around. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if it's something you can develop a natural immunity to, naturally, that is always going to be better, in my opinion. But I'm not a doctor. I am a medicine man, have been for 40 years, but I'm not a doctor. So this is my personal opinion. You can take it or leave it. You know, I treasure your opinion. I hope you treasure mine too. And that's all I'm saying about that. But the COVID thing is not making this whole fucking worldwide governmental situation any fucking better, because gritty, power-hungry fucking politicians around the world, not even just here in the United States, but around the world, are using COVID as a means to power grab. And here's the sick thing. Everybody fucking knows it. It doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat or whatever the fuck. It's time that we wake up and do something about this shit. As one people, period. We're all human beings. It's time we start fucking acting like it. Make it mean more than the fucking stupid idiot I have to fucking deal with on my way to work. Make it mean something fucking good. And the only way that's going to happen is if people wake the fuck up. And I'll sit here and I'll fucking scream and shout to an audience of one or two if I've got to. I'll do whatever I have to do to get the fucking word out that this shit has to fucking change. Because here's the sad fact, and I know this is an opinion shared by a lot of veterans, a lot of people that, whether you appreciate it or not, fought and bled, and some even fucking died for this country. And this is not the country that we fought for. It has turned into something unrecognizable. It is fucking unrecognizable. You understand that? It's unrecognizable when some fucking jackboot motherfucker kills a guy on national fucking TV and he's still walking around. There's something wrong when good fucking organizations that have a valid point, like Black Lives Matter, are out there doing their thing, which is good, and I don't want to take anything away from them. They deserve whatever credit they can get. They're fighting a good fight. But they're not the only ones, and everyone else is being ignored. Because everybody's too afraid to say, well, yeah, but, you know, the Hispanic community has issues that are really hard too, or the Asian community has issues that are really hard too, or the Native American community is fucked even more than you guys are. You know, and I'm not taking anything away from what happened to them. I'm not taking anything away from what they go through day to day. Because I will tell you, in some ways, I'm more, I don't want to say lucky, but fortunate than they are. Because I can walk down the street without a cop looking at me fucking sideways. Ever. Well, okay, probably not ever. They're gonna look at me sideways because I look like a fucking insane fucking warrior walking down the street. So I do get looks. But, it's not the same. You know? So I'm more fortunate in that aspect. But I'm also less fortunate in the aspect of at least their issues are being taken seriously. Native issues are widely ignored. There are over 200 women that have come up missing from Arizona and New Mexico, primarily from the Navajo Nation, since the 80s. And no investigation has been done by any government agency at all. Woman in my fucking home state of Montana was murdered in her neighbor's apartment, had her fucking 8-month-old baby cut out of her and essentially harvested this baby out of her, killed the mom, tied her to a log, and dumped her into the fucking river, and it didn't even make the news. Where is the outrage for that? You know, and I'm sure there's similar stories in like the Hispanic community and the Asian community and every other fucking community. Even the white community, I'm sure, is getting screwed over in some ways. right? And I'm not saying that one's better than the other, or we should pay attention to one and ignore the other. That's not it at all. I think all of those issues have to be fucking addressed. And I think the only way that it's going to happen, the only way that real fucking change is going to happen, not only in this country, but in the entire fucking world, is if every human being on the fucking planet, the 99% of us, band together against the 1% fucking elitist motherfuckers that are in power and tell them in one loud, strong fucking voice with a million fists in the air, no fucking more. It is way past time that they fear us. Because let me tell you something, my people. Benjamin Franklin, say what you want about the guy. Yes, he owned slaves back in the day. Yes, he did. And I'm not advocating that, but he did say one thing that always strikes a chord with me. Those that sacrifice liberty for security deserve neither. And what did we do? 9/11 rolls around, and we jumped right on that fucking ship, didn't we? Yeah, we did. You know how I know we did? Because the Department of Homeland Security exists. Because TSA exists. Because now you have to have a special ID to take a flight anywhere. Anywhere. Locally or internationally. Doesn't matter. You have to have a real ID as of May 1st. I didn't vote for that. I didn't even know that that was a thing until after May 1st. I'm pretty sure nobody listening right now heard about this shit either. And this is prime example. Yeah, it may not be the biggest deal in the world that you have to get another I fucking D, but it's the fucking point that they're doing shit without our say-so. They're supposed to work for us. Why am I the only one that fucking remembers this? All I can say, my family, my friends, my pack, my tribe, we got to get back in the saddle. We got to start correcting the ship. We need to take the wheel and drive. Because until we fucking do, our destiny is not our own. We may have the illusion of freedom in this country, but that's just all it is. It's an illusion. Until our votes actually count for something more than a demographic on a fucking TV screen every election, nothing we do or say is going to mean shit. Alright, my pack, my tribe, that's about all the time I have. Until next time, peace out.